Hi, I am so happy that y'all are here. I'm happy to be putting out new episodes. This is almost like a season 2. Gonna build on some things from last season, gonna share some new stuff. Got some really great episodes already ready for y'all. And the whole point of this podcast is to help you live an easier, more enjoyable life. I am all about the luxurious things, but simplified. I'm definitely not a maximalist. I'm not a minimalist either. I'd say I'm like an essentialist. I love to have really intentional things in my life, intentional way of going about living. I have several businesses that help me create a lot of time freedom so that I can be present and enjoy the moment while we're here, because we don't want to get to being retirement age and realize that we didn't live life, or get to retirement and then not make it much longer. That can happen. So I am so happy you're here, and I thought that I would share with you all some updates so that what's been going on and you have an idea of what's to come. So, this year's been quite a year. I am in my 3rd year here living in Pensacola, going into my 3rd year, and I love it here so much. I'm from Savannah, Georgia, but through living in a lot of different places and during the pandemic, I ended up relocating here, and I just love it so much. There's so many great things about Pensacola. So I'm going to be sharing some Pensacola content coming up, and then some other stuff that applies to any of you anywhere. But if you haven't visited Pensacola, you need to. And that brings me into the next thing, which is we have an Airbnb, Lux on Lakeview. So from Simplified Lux Life, you can step into the 3-day work week world of Kate Waldo and Co., into the Simplified Lux Life when you're there. It is here in Pensacola in East Hill, and it is really beautiful. We've had some fantastic guests so far that have been really loving it. One of my favorite reviews, her name was Andrea, and she said that it just makes me feel something and I really want to come back. So that's been really cool to share that experience with other people, to create and curate a space that people really love and enjoy. So if you are visiting, or if you have family visiting Pensacola and you want to stay at Lux on Lakeview, maybe even just want a little staycation, then you can go to simplifiedluxlife.com. I have all of the links to any and everything on the website. We did a major update on that, and you can find the links to stay at the property on our website. Also, you can shop the property, which is really cool. I'll probably do a whole episode on the Airbnb itself, but you can shop the items in the property, and it's pretty much, I would say 90% of what's in the house I've been able to link for you. I'm always adding new content and adding to that, but I've linked it all, so if there's anything you like, you can shop those links and buy it for yourself, which is really cool. And what else? So earlier this year, Simplified Lux Life, the blog and podcast, were featured in Bella magazine in Pensacola, along with Orchid Organizing, my professional organizing business. And then we're also featured in the In Weekly Rising Star class of 2022, which is a huge honor. And I feel so grateful to all of you that had any part in that. I just love sharing this kind of content, and it's so much fun for me. So that was a really big thing. Launched another podcast this year, which is part of why Simplified Lux Life has been a little bit on the back burner. That podcast is called 3-Day Work Weeks for Millennial Entrepreneurs. You can look that up and subscribe to that if you are in the business owner entrepreneur world. I think you'll really enjoy it. And what else happened this year? In the process of starting that Airbnb, my partner moved in with me. He and his sweet yellow lab, they are sitting here with me. The two dogs, they run the household now. And they're pretty much inseparable, him and Sugar. So that's been a huge blessing in our lives, and it's been really cool to go through that change. Also learning how to combine households and get organized again, going through the motions of figuring out how to live together and work together. All those things has been an adventure, but a really cool one, and I'm very grateful for it. So that's been amazing. Also, the house, I know I shared a lot about this house that I live in on the podcast and on my Instagram. I haven't shared as much content about that because we've put a lot of time, effort, and energy into the Airbnb property, but it is that now that that's all done, I did have to end up pulling some things last minute from my house into the Airbnb to finish it out and make it look done. And there's always more that we can do, but we had guests coming and had to get that done. So this house has been mainly the things have been behind the cabinets that I've been working on. It's been getting things more organized, figuring out better systems for stuff, and I have really enjoyed that. It's had some time in limbo in this house, and now I feel like things are more intentional, they make more sense, and they are functioning a lot better. I also did a big update to my office, so things are still not 100%, but I want some more seating in my office so that I can chill in here, not just at my desk, but I ended up hanging curtains all around the room to help with sound absorption and echo. And so it kind of looks cool. It's like very vibey. If you've seen any of the pictures of the Airbnb, which you can see on my Instagram or on the Simplified Lux Life website, my office now reminds me of that house. I put these long gauzy white curtains everywhere, and they are just like very flowy and beachy and light. I like them a lot. So it's been a lot of different things, but we have a lot of really cool content coming for you, and I'm just so excited. I've done a huge overhaul to the Simplified Lux Life blog website. So now you should be able to find absolutely everything that you need, and it will all be linked on the website in all the different ways. Anything from hair to makeup to the Airbnb, booking the Airbnb, shopping anything that I post on Instagram. That should be on there too. Show notes from the podcast. What else? There's more stuff on there. Links to the podcast. There's so much. But it's all in one hub now. So you can find all of it really easily, which I'm really excited about. And we got new podcast cover art, which you may or may not have noticed. And that's super exciting. So lots of fun things happening. I'm so excited to be back and to share more content. And what I would love is if you would screenshot this, tag me on Instagram stories, and let me know what you want to hear more of on the podcast this season, I guess we'll call it, and what things you want to hear about. So I have some really cool stuff ready to go, but there's lots more to come, and I want to be sharing more of what y'all really like and sharing things that work really well for me that I think would make an impact in your life. So if you're listening to this, please make sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave us a 5-star review and a written review. That makes a huge impact on the people that we're able to reach and share this content with. If you would share it with a friend as well, that would be incredible. Would really appreciate it. So thanks for hanging out, and look forward to new episodes very soon.